This is version 2.0 of the Disqus widget, and there have been a few cool features that have been added to it. First, I'm going to show you how you can change the color of the text inside the widget. By default, the text is automatically going to be black, but you can change this by selecting the widget and then clicking the text tool up here, or just by clicking the letter T and it will automatically select the text tool. Then you go to the color and then you change it to whatever color that you want. So if you go with gray, it will show gray text. And if you go with white, it will show white text. Now the links are actually following the styling that you set inside the site properties. So just go inside the site properties, go over to content, and change the links to whatever color that you want. Preview it again in the browser, and now the links will be whatever color that you just set. So first, right here, you have your Disqus short name. If you don't have a Disqus account, you can click right there, and it'll take you to the Disqus sign up page. And then once you're all signed up, you'll have your Disqus short name, and then you just come back over here and enter it into the widget. Then for the website, you've probably seen this feature in other widgets, but only enable this if your site can be accessed from HTTPS. Use www, that's more of a preference. So if you prefer having your website accessed from www, then just enter it there. And then the domain, just enter the domain. Now the information that you adjust in the web page section is pretty cool because there's a lot going on behind the scenes. Enter custom title. If you use this option, you're able to give the title of your pages a more clean look inside the actual widget. So I'm going to show you real quick what the widget looks like when it's live. So I'm previewing in browser, and you can do that with Command or Control-Shift-E. Now down here, see how the titles of the pages are just a few words? Well, the actual title of the page is quite a bit longer. So if I hover over the tab, you can see it says Google Webmaster and Adobe Muse Indexing Sitemaps and Crawlers. Now that's done for SEO, but it's kind of unnecessary inside the widget. So by enabling Enter Custom Title, you're able to change the text that would show up down here. On the version of the website, you can change the version of the website depending on the version of the website that you're editing. This will just help with the way that pages are redirected when someone clicks on a link inside the widget. Page URL. So this to me is one of the most important features of this widget, and there's a very specific reason why I didn't have the widget automatically grab the URL of the page. So Muse will automatically grab the URL of the page, even if that means that it's grabbing the URL of the preview page. And what I mean by that is if you preview this site in browser, the URL of the page is right here. So what it would do is it would take this URL, it would create a new discussion inside Disqus, and it would set this URL as the URL of the page of the discussion. This would make it so that when a link was clicked on, it would go to an error page because it would try and go to this page. So by entering the page URL manually, it does a few things. First, it makes it so that when you preview the widget inside a browser, it will set the URL of the page to the correct URL. Another thing that's very helpful about this is that it makes it so that you can copy the widget, switch versions of the website, and paste it in the corresponding page, and it will make it so that any comments that happen on the mobile page will also happen on the desktop page. So we'll sync the comments between the pages. So that is why the page URL feature is so important. So if you watch this video from beginning to end, you probably noticed that the end of this widget suddenly changed. That's because the feature that I had previously had on the widget before I started recording the video was something that actually made the widget significantly more complicated and didn't actually really even add a feature to it. So that's why it is now only showing width percentage. the way that the width percentage works. You're probably familiar with it if you use other widgets that I've created. And the way that this works is first you have to select the widget and make sure that it's set to 100% width, which can be done by clicking that button. And then whatever you set inside the width percentage will make it so that the widget will become responsive. So if you set it to 90%, it'll make it so that the comments cover 90% of the page regardless of the width of the page. So I'm going to preview in browser to show you what that looks like. So if I have it set at 90, it covers 90% of the page. And let's say I had it set at 50, it would cover 50% of the page.